My name is Mike Hricik. I'm an English faculty member here at Westmoreland County Community College. And I've been working with Diane Hightower to bring Peter Lake to the college. Just a little bit of information. Peter Lake is a professor of law and the Charles A. Dana Chair and Director of the Center for Excellence in Higher Education Law and Policy at Stetson University College of Law. And before I go on to any questions, Peter, just talk a little bit about yourself and your interest in higher education and the law.
Yeah, hi Mike, and thanks for having me here.
Absolutely.
I really do appreciate it. My interest in higher education law goes back some time now. I've been involved in higher ed law and policy for almost 20 years. And my career these days, it takes me throughout the country, really throughout the world, doing consulting and speaking and writing on various topics in higher ed law and policy. As you may know, I also direct a center at Stetson and run a national conference on higher education law and policy. This is a rapidly evolving area. Mental health in the law has been expanding very, very quickly. And unfortunately, there's still a lot to learn. We have some guidance from the federal government that helps us out, some from the states, some from the court systems, but there's still a lot of open questions. And I think it's an evolving area, so it means that today's administrators have to engage in a lot of self-education and continuing education to make sure they stay on top of the latest issues and trends. The last 5 years has been a watershed year. I mean, I would almost say that 5 years ago there wasn't much mental health law at all in higher ed.
Right.
But the main changes have been coming from the Department of Education.
Okay.
And since the Obama administration has taken over and Arne Duncan has become the secretary, we've seen a much more active U.S. Department of Education on issues of disability accommodation, mental health, etc. You know, certainly we have to follow the basic letter of the law.
Right.
Very clearly we have specific mandates in certain areas, and so this is things we have to do. But ultimately, the success with safety in the law comes from internalizing the spirit that the principles were designed in the first place.
Right.
And a good example of this is the Clery crime reporting bill, where there's a lot of specific technical requirements, but ultimately the goal of the act is to create a safe campus.
Right.
And so it really doesn't do us any good if all we do is turn in a perfect report. We want to have as safe a campus as reasonably possible. And I think that's this climate with so many technical legal requirements. Sometimes we lose the forest for the trees.
Okay.
The other thing I would say is that there are times when you do need to call your lawyers and get specific legal guidance. I think sometimes we bushwhack and we don't want to disturb our legal counsel, but so often they'll tell me, boy, I wish my clients had called me earlier.
Right.
Because getting that help early in a process can really forestall some tricky legal issues later. And I see this a lot with First Amendment challenges, where very often it would have been very helpful to get lawyers involved early on. I think it's putting information together and sharing information.
Okay.
I think that we see a lot of things, and to us it isn't particularly alarming or concerning, but when other people get to put that information together, other things start to emerge.
Okay.
And I think we're starting to realize how interconnected we are, that just doing your job, looking the other way, and going home is no longer enough. You really have to be communicating up and down the chain of command to get good decisions. We're all at point of choice, and we may not even realize it sometimes. I think there's been a proliferation of good, usable resource material for different constituencies on campus, particularly the faculty.
Okay.
Faculty until recently got very little training and resource direction, but the new trend has been to realize just how critical classroom faculty are in safety, wellness, mental health, and so the leading entities in the field have been directing resources towards that. I think the Cornell piece is particularly good.
Okay.
And I worked on both JED documents that I shared with you all.
Okay.
And I think they're both excellent resources and easy reads, honestly. I mean, it's not a big commitment, which is something that's great.
Okay. And thank you for coming to Westmoreland County Community College, and we look forward to your presentation this afternoon. And I'm sure you'll have many excellent questions, and so we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Great to see you today.
Okay.